Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden 21 Offensive Tips Formation Breakdown, we're going to take a look at a formation called Gun Stack Y Flex. And one of the things I like about this particular formation is the stack between the split in and the slot, because it allows you to get pretty creative as far as beating bump and run man coverage or press man coverage, which is really nice as far as attacking that type of coverage. So what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and just take a look at it and kind of give you an in-depth breakdown of it and show you some of the things you can do with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here as you look at your screen there. And you can see I'm going to go ahead and call this a compressed formation as you look at your screen here. So I'm going to call this a compressed formation. The reason I call it compressed is because of these two guys here. They're compressed to the inside, further inside than normal, particularly the split in. He's lined up tight and he's lined up behind this slot. So that's why I'm going to call this compressed. Now, keep in mind, you got these two guys out here on the other side, and particularly the tight end who's lined up in the flex. So he's lined up here and then you got here. So on this side of the field, you kind of got a spread formation. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and call it compressed, but just note that you can easily call it compressed spread if you want to. You got one guy, one side where it's compressed, the other side where it's spread. As far as the personnel goes, we have 11 personnel. So if you look at it, we have one running back, one tight end, and 3 receivers. Here's the personnel group. As you can see, you've got 11 personnel. And then the personnel alignment, as you look at it, you've got 2 by 2. So you've got these two guys lined up over here, and then you got these two guys lined up over here. That's why we got it. That's 2 by 2. And then finally, let's take a look at the packages real quick. You got backup quarterback, halfback sub, wide receiver flip, wide receiver 1 slot, wide receiver 2 slot, and tight end sub. So those are the packages that you have with this particular formation. Now, let's go ahead and get on here and get into the field here and take a look at it. And again, this particular playbook that I'm running from is from the Saints. So it features 12 plays from the Stack Y Flex out of the gun formation. So let's go ahead and get in here. And the play that I'm going to feature in here at the end of the video, I want to show you something you guys can do that's going to be a nice little bump and run man beater or press man beater that you can use to attack that type of coverage. So let's go ahead and take a look at it here. I'm just going to run this on a defensive side of the ball, nickel 3-3-5 will cover 2 man. That's the defense I'm going to use. And the Z spot is the play that I want to call from the gun stack Y flex that I like as far as attacking bump and run or press man coverage. All right, let's go through the motion real quick here and just show you some of the things about the motion here. First off, these 2 receivers, as you look at it, this particular one right here on the outside, you cannot motion him. You also cannot motion this receiver here. Neither one of those 2 receivers can be motioned, which, you know, kind of stinks in a way because you can't motion those guys, but that's all right. We got some other things we can do as far as the motion. So the tight end's lined up right here. One of the things you can do with the tight end if you want is you can motion him to the inside as you look at it. And what he's going to do is he's going to line up basically as if he was in a normal gun formation, like the gun normal. He would line up right there on the line of scrimmage. And then if you look, then when we motion him, then the flanker actually comes up to the line of scrimmage. Now, the one thing, the tight end, as you look at it, he's lined up off the line of scrimmage in a wing position as you look at it. That's the one difference there. So I want to point that out. The next thing you can do is, this is the cool one thing about this particular formation, is you can create a compressed formation by simply motioning in the outside receiver on the right. Now, he's not necessarily stacked, but that's okay because what he can do is he can get off the line of scrimmage on certain, maybe certain plays you might be able to find where he can get off the line of scrimmage. Even if he doesn't get off the line of scrimmage, a lot of times you can get an inside release where you might be able to throw to him. So that's the other guy right there that you can motion. And then you got the running back. What you can do with him is you can motion him out to the right. And then you end up having a 3 by 2. You have 3 receivers lined up to the right and then 2 receivers lined up to the left. And you look at it and you think about that's a trips formation or a 5 wide formation as you look at it. The other thing you can do with the running back, if you want, you can always motion him over to the left and then he would be lined up to the left of the quarterback. So that's another thing you can do with that if you want. And so those are the, as far as with the motion that you can do with it. All right, what I want to show at this point is I want to go ahead and talk about this particular route real quick here. And this is the receiver who's lined up here on the left. This is the bump and run or press man beater I was talking about from this particular formation. This is one of the plays I like. And one of the things I like about the Z spot is you get the man beater over here on the left as you're looking at it. You get this man beater right here. And then over to the right, you get a zone beater. So you get best of both worlds. You get a man and a zone beater without having to make any hot route adjustments. Here, I really don't have to do anything. I can literally come up the line of scrimmage, snap the ball, look at the alignment, then snap it, and based on what I think they're going to run against me, gives me a pretty good idea where I can throw it. So I'm just going to go ahead and zip it in here real quick. And a lot of times you can complete that for at least a 7 to 10 yard gain. Let's go ahead and do it again, same play. We'll do that press man coverage. So basically, if you think it's pressed and you're guessing it is, you can just throw a quick bullet pass and you can pick up, here we're picking up 15 yards. So you have an opportunity to pick up some nice yardage with this particular play as far as attacking, press man coverage. Now, I'm not going to get too much into this because not every team has a wide receiver that's got all these extra hot routes, but Thomas of the Saints, he's a wide receiver apprentice, so he's going to get those additional pass routes. And so I want to show you is what you can do with him if you do so happen to use the Saints and you have this type of receiver on your team. Initially, as you look at it, let's go ahead and just zoom in real quick. He's lined up. Remember, he's lined up in the flanker position to the outside, right? So he's going to get these four. He's going to get these 4 hot routes, additional hot routes. So he's got the post corner, the fade stop, and the post. So he's going to get those 4. Now, if you motion him to the inside, I want to show you something. And then we're going to go ahead and look at it again. You still got the post corner, but then you get 2 additional routes now, and they change up. Now you get the cross and the stop and go. So essentially, really, when you think about it, you get 6 extra hot routes with him because he's a wide receiver apprentice. And as you know, I think a lot of us already know this crossing route's pretty darn effective as well against man coverage. And that's one of the things I wanted to show. Against press man coverage, you can get him open too. So with this particular play, you really have 2 receivers you can look to throw to if it's man press coverage, or these 2 guys right here, which is ones I'm going to point out. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead and throw to Thomas as he comes across on the crosser. And a lot of times I'll find him open. So I'll have him, if they take him away, maybe I want to take that deep pass. Depending on who they take away, it'll tell me who I can throw it to. I'm going to go ahead and motion him back to the inside again. If that deep route's taken away, then I'm just going to throw that quick bullet pass and right in that area there and pick up some positive yardage. So you really have 2 options with this particular play as far as attacking man coverage. Again, it's a Z-spot play that you'll find out of this particular formation that's pretty effective, out of the stack Y flex, out of the gun formation from the Saints playbook. So hopefully this is a formation you guys can take a look at. It's pretty effective as far as attacking bump and run man coverage. And there's also some nice zone beaters in there as well.